Is Uniforia a word? It appears to not be a word. So if you didn't know already, this is the new Euro 2020 match ball, the Uniforia. And before we even talk about anything, I want you guys to share your initial first impressions on the look of the ball down below in the comments. I think it looks like a bunch of puzzle pieces. Now, as I'm sure you probably already knew, the Euro 2020 tournament happens this summer, and this will be the official match ball, at least for the group stages. Now, it also happens to be the 60th anniversary of the Euro Cup tournament, and in celebration of that, they decided that it wouldn't be hosted in one single European country, but instead across the entirety of Europe. 13 different countries to be exact, at least that's what I read in the press release, but it could potentially be wrong information. And to celebrate this unity across Europe, not across of Europe, they have called this ball the Uniforia, which I can only assume is a combination of the words unity and euphoria, because Uniforia is not a word. So with that Uniforia theme in mind, you can see Adidas has opted for a much more colorful design than what we saw with the muted black and gray Minecraft themed Telstar that we had for the 2018 World Cup. Instead, this ball features a combination of bright green, bright pink, and bright blue, all kind of blending together, again, to kind of fit with the whole unity theme. None of these colors really being specific colors of any of the teams within the Euro tournament. You're also going to notice some gray and black that has this kind of paint stroke type effect to it around all of the edges of what I can only describe as panels that look like puzzle pieces. It also has the Euro 2020 logo, the Adidas branding, the Uniforia name. It does say official match ball. You have the FIFA approved stamp right there. And then there's one other thing to show you, and that is the valve, which is red in color as it was on the Telstar. And then the final detail that's really easy to miss is in light silver, basically on the long part of each panel, you have a city as well as the GPS coordinates of that city, or perhaps the stadium in the city, of all the different countries that are actually going to be hosting matches during the Euro 2020 tournament, which is actually a pretty cool little detail and a neat way of incorporating everyone on the match ball. As for the ball itself, despite looking different from a Telstar because of the colors and graphics, it is just basically a Telstar, retailing for the same $165, featuring the exact same panel design, all fused together, and even with a very similar texturing, although that is technically one of the main differences, where you'll find that this new Uniforia ball has a little bit more of a glossy finish to it that you could argue is slightly more slippery, but I also think you could argue that it's slightly grippier depending on what shoes you're wearing. Once you've actually used the ball a couple of times though, ultimately it just ends up feeling exactly the same as the Telstar. The only other difference being that Adidas did not include an NFC chip in this ball as they did in the Telstar, so you won't be able to take your phone, tap it to the ball, which then just sends you to the Adidas store. This white version I have here is the regular version that they likely will use in all of the tournament group stage matches, although there is also an orange winter ball version that they never use in the tournament. I'm not sure why they even make it a thing, but it is in fact available both for the same $165 retail price. And if you do want to pick up one of those two balls for a little bit less money, you can click the first link down below or the little pop-up in the corner of the screen. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll be able to pick it up with some SR4U coupon codes below the normal retail. So beyond that, there really isn't much else to discuss regarding the ball, because it is basically the same ball over again with some new graphics, which in a way is kind of controversial because, as you guys remember, in the lead up to the 2018 World Cup, there were a couple of goalkeepers complaining about the performance in terms of how it flies through the air with the Telstar match ball. This is the same ball. Adidas has not gone back to the drawing board and tried to change anything. And my experience with the Telstar, as I'm sure most of you guys have probably kicked one at this point in time, is that it can be a little bit unpredictable through the air. It is still FIFA approved. It meets all of their standards. And I made a video back when all of that controversy was happening on why I think the FIFA approved thing is flawed in general. But I guess if you like the Telstar, you're going to like the Uniforia because it's the exact same ball. That's what it looks like spinning. So in conclusion, given that this is basically just a Telstar with some new graphics that granted do look a lot better, you kind of know what you're getting into here with the new Uniforia match ball. It's built really well, as are pretty much all of the top-end Adidas match balls. It's still expensive. It's hard for most people to justify, but if you want the exact same ball that the pros will be using on TV during the Euro 2020 tournament, this is it. I think that somebody that is going to want a match ball like this is somebody that's really into doing the knuckleball technique. Because I think out of all the match balls that are currently available, this is the one that probably moves around the most, given that you use proper technique, and even sometimes when you don't. So definitely not my favorite match ball, but still one that I'd be happy to use. Anyways, guys, that's it for my review. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in one of these for yourself, first link down below, buy it now, enter there with SR4U coupon codes to pick it up below its normal $165 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this ball, leave it down below in the comments and I'll do my best to get an answer out to you as soon as I possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't already for videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear, and make sure you hit that little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. All my social media information is also linked down below. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.